In episode 4 of Tulsa King, Dwight finally learns the truth, and it hits closer to home than ever. Tyson's betrayal changes everything, and the Dunmires just made their boldest move yet. The twist this week isn't from an enemy, it's from family. Dwight discovers that Tyson secretly struck a side deal with Cole Dunmire, the rival kingpin trying to take over the Tulsa territory. As part of that backroom deal, Tyson handed over the distillery house, one of Dwight's key business fronts and a cornerstone of his growing empire. Dwight's realization comes after inconsistencies in Tyson's story, missing funds, unreported shipments, and a tip from one of Mitch's old contacts. This twist hits Dwight personally and strategically. It's a betrayal from someone he treated like a son. Imagine this, a man who has based his empire on devotion and quality bourbon finds both of them suddenly collapsing around him. Family loyalty that transcends blood and a good, honest 100-proof bourbon are the two things that Dwight Manfredi, the unwavering general, trusts most. But that foundation, that trust, is destroyed tonight. He is about to learn Tulsa's worst-kept secret, one that deeply hurts him. Cole Dunmire has been given the Montague distillery and every last drop of its 50-year, $150 million liquid wealth by his own driver, Tyson, the young man he mentored. Dwight's whole growing enterprise, one signature, and one heartbreaking betrayal. Everything is up in smoke. A harsh wake-up call, indeed. Let's rewind a bit, shall we? When Dwight first rolled into Oklahoma, fresh out of the joint, the Montague distillery looked like little more than a dusty write-off. Seriously, it was a mess, no distributor, no profits to speak of, just a barn full of cobwebs and broken dreams. But Dwight, he's got an eye for potential, doesn't he? He saw past the grime. Because under those creaky floorboards, sleeping quietly in the dark, were 200 barrels of precious 1972 juice. This wasn't just any whiskey, this was liquid gold, a family legacy worth more than most casinos, a cool $150 million, just waiting to be rediscovered. Jeremiah Dunmire, the old snake, sniffed out that value first. He swooped in, offering triple the sticker price for the deed, trying to play it smooth. But Dwight? He smelled a rat a mile away and politely, or maybe not so politely, knowing Dwight, declined. Instead, he patched the roof, flipped the switch on the old stills, and told his new crew, "We're going legit." He was determined to make it work, to turn that dusty relic into a legitimate business. All he needed was a distributor, a proper label, and a little time. But then, enter Cole Dunmire, Jeremiah's smarmy son, who decided if cold, hard cash won't buy the kingdom, then fear, pure and simple, certainly will. And he wasn't wrong. Toxically, turns out to be a lifesaver, and driven to a meat locker that smells of cheap bleach and blood. Cole is only thinking about one thing, the precise location of the barrel house. Bless his heart, Tyson makes an effort to keep quiet. He makes an effort to be hard. However, Serenity, the lone dancer, is then brought in by Cole, who is the real villain. Tyson actually cares about the one person he's trying to impress. A gun to her head, and suddenly, the switch flips. Tyson talks. He gives up the location. By dawn, Cole's crew has emptied the warehouse. 200 barrels, gone, vanished as if they were never there. It's a clean sweep, a devastating blow. Now, here's where the betrayal truly sharpens, where it cuts deep. Dwight, he's no fool, he's been around the block more times than he can count. He knows Cole, for all his bluster, doesn't have the muscle or the logistics to move that much weight, that many barrels, all by himself. Something's off. So, what does he do? He sends Bodie, his tech guy, to pull every piece of digital evidence he can find, traffic cam footage, satellite timestamps, anything. And what comes back? A single, damning screenshot. It's Tyson, clear as day, unbruised, unblindfolded, calmly signing a clipboard while Cole's guys load the trucks with Dwight's future. There's no gun to his back, no visible restraints. That signature, right there, that's the deed transfer, the distillery and all its priceless contents, now officially belonging to Jeremiah Dunmire LLC, effective immediately. Tyson didn't just break under pressure, he bartered. He made a deal. And that, for Dwight, changes everything. So, why would Tyson do it? Money? Yeah, partly. In those video stills, Cole flashes $2 million in cold, hard cash. Think about it, that's more money than Tyson's family would likely see in a lifetime. It's a staggering amount, a life-changing sum. But let's be real, the bigger lever, the real motivator, was fear wrapped in a twisted kind of romance. He wanted to save Serenity, sure, but also to save himself, to escape the immediate threat. Maybe he even convinced himself he could buy a future, a life far away from Dwight's constant warpath. Tyson, like so many who make a terrible choice, rationalized it. He probably thought, I'll pay it back before he even notices. A classic, self-serving delusion. But here's the problem with that kind of thinking, Dwight notices everything. He's got eyes in the back of his head, and a nose for treachery that's sharper than any blade. Cut to the back office at the Bread, 2 Buck, a scene thick with unspoken tension. Dwight sits there, unervingly calm, a glass of bourbon poured, his trusty pistol resting casually on the desk. Tyson walks in, probably thinking the boss just needs a ride somewhere, oblivious to the storm brewing. The door clicks shut behind him, a sound that seals his fate. Dwight, without a word, slides that damning photo across the polished wood. There's no shouting yet, no immediate explosion of rage, just that low, gravelly whisper, chillingly calm, "Tell me, Tyson, what part of this am I misunderstanding?" Tyson, desperate, tries the old, "they forced me" angle, a pathetic attempt to save face. But Dwight, ever the realist, reminds him, "Forced men don't take cashier's checks, son." The silence that follows is deafening, broken only by the gentle slosh of bourbon in Dwight's glass for 10 agonizing seconds. Then Dwight stands, his movements still measured, his voice rising just a fraction, "You sold my family's blood for tip money." The slap that follows is open-handed, almost paternal in its delivery, but it rattles Tyson's molars, a jarring physical manifestation of the betrayal. Dwight's verdict is swift and absolute: Tyson lives because he once took a bullet for the crew, a debt of loyalty paid in blood. But he drives no more cars, carries no more trust, and now he owes a debt that can only be paid in sweat or, perhaps, in his own blood. The ripple effect of Tyson's betrayal isn't just felt by Dwight, it shakes the entire crew to its core. Armand, Mitch, even the usually unflappable Bodie, they all feel the ground shift beneath their feet. If Tyson, one of their own, could flip, then who couldn't? The trust, once an ironclad bond, is now tainted with suspicion. Dwight, ever the pragmatist, calls an immediate summit at the ranch. New rules are laid down, firm and unyielding, no more solo trips, burner phones swapped out weekly, and every single dollar now moves through 3 pairs of hands. The distillery deed might be gone, a piece of paper signed away, but the bourbon itself? It's still out there, aging somewhere in Dunmire-controlled rickhouses. And without those barrels, without that $150 million cash flow, Dwight's entire operation dries up. The Fed's favorite money laundering machine grinds to a halt. The crew's very survival now hinges on a heist nobody wanted, a desperate gamble: steal back their own whiskey before the Dunmires can bottle it up and auction it off, effectively erasing Dwight's legacy. One of the main issues from Season 2 has already been resolved by Tulsa King, and it has an impact. The 3rd season of Tulsa King, starring Taylor Sheridan and scheduled to run through November on the Taylor Sheridan Paramount Plus network, is already airing and promises viewers a fun mix of neo-western and mafia crime drama. The series revolves around Dwight, the General, Manfredi's relocation from New York City to Tulsa, Oklahoma, however it hasn't yet addressed the identity of the area. Aside from country music and horse farms, it might be any other city in the Southwest. Indeed, it sort of did. The Paramount Plus crime series Tulsa King Season 2 was actually filmed in Georgia rather than Tulsa or any other part of Oklahoma. In a way we haven't seen much since Season 1 scenes like Dwight standing in the center of the universe. The 3rd season of the program has finally resumed filming in Oklahoma, solidifying the place's identity as a major narrative element. This is not an unusual TV show pattern. Similar to how shows set in Washington, D.C. are filmed in Baltimore, many New York-based titles are filmed in Toronto. Hollywood chooses locations with low production costs. Even Yellowstone, which is well known for its Montana setting, was shot mostly in Utah, which reduced location expenses while producing comparable valley views. It's shocking to believe that Tulsa King relocated away from Tulsa, a show that relies heavily on geography to tell its distinct mafia story. This locale wasn't chosen at random, it's a key component of the show's plot, setting up the elderly mafia boss's fish-out-of-water scenario. However, Dwight adjusts to his new home far too quickly, even if Tulsa King is always making an effort to imply that he has missed many years. This adds to the excitement of seeing the series return to Oklahoma. Although Dwight has faced some Tulsa foes on the program, the majority of his challenges have come from outside forces, such as the mob in Kansas City or New York. The antagonist of Season 3 is a formidable foe from Oklahoma. Tulsa King's return to Oklahoma in Season 3 is one of the nicest elements of the show since it makes the Paramount series feel more neo-Western. This is a mafia story set in the West, not just a tale about a mobster in New York. Oklahoma must be a crucial component, and people are starting to see that. Thanks for watching. For more updates stay tuned and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, please.